it no way, so they can have it.
I feel you. Well, gentlemen, are y'all ready? This is our last bonus double feature, Volume 4. I'm excited, as you can tell. Yes,
This is
5, as
5.
Jason.
Oh, it's 5. I thought he was trying to do it.
Yes, it's 5.
I thought Jason was like, "Hey,
It's
okay."
5.
Oh,
Okay, 5.
like a high five, Chris.
Yeah, digital high
Yeah,
five.
I mean, this 5. This 5.
Did I say 4?
You
Yeah, you
did.
said 4.
Oh, my bad. Okay, 5. So I guess it was a bunch of stuff going on just now. Of our double feature for She-Hulk and House of the Dragon review. Today we will be reviewing the final episode of She-Hulk and episodes 9 through 10 of House of the Dragon. So these are spoilers. This is your warning, and if you need to find out where to stream these, She-Hulk is on Disney Plus, and House of the Dragon, aka Them Dragons, can be streamed on HBO Max. We don't normally have an intro, but we do normally start with She-Hulk since the dragons, so much to cook over there. So we're going to, of course, always leave them for last. But She-Hulk, the season finale, gentlemen, how did y'all feel? Was it everything that you hoped for and more?
Man. Jason, go ahead.
I enjoyed the finale, man. It was a lot of commotion, a lot of upset people at how it ended, but I enjoyed it. It changed it. You know, like I said, people are so used to this traditional, this meet 'em up, bang 'em up, shoot 'em up ending, and that's definitely not the direction that she wanted to go with her story. So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed it a lot.
Chris?
Yeah, I was curious when people kept saying like it wasn't good, but I think that's like but one thing I have learned to do is like sort of back away from social media in regards to like certain TV shows. I feel like with She-Hulk, I learned to do that like maybe 4 or 5 episodes back. Whenever the Meg Thee Stallion one was, I was just like, whatever. But I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, she stayed true to her comic character. Like she pretty much had the whole thing where she rewrote the episode because she wasn't feeling what was going on, and she's done that in the comics as well, where she's literally jumped out of the panel and sort of was just like, hey, I'm not feeling this. So I thought the fourth wall break-in was really well done. I like how it escalated over the series. So like she did it a little bit, but then more and more we got it, and it became really meta, I guess. Like it is more apparent. Some of our predictions were right but wrong at the same time. So I thought that was interesting. I know Hulk showed back up. Daredevil showed back up, which I was very surprised with, but I like the way he came in. And Emil Blonsky, that caught me off guard because I thought he was with the Hulk King and all of those guys, but it turned out he was just a speaker. So but that was dope.
I told y'all that he wasn't the villain, but
Yeah.
y'all also said, I think y'all said that Todd was very suspect as well. Todd
Yeah.
was the creep, so y'all definitely called that one.
Yeah.
I thought Malik was gonna be somebody as well.
Me too. I thought that would have been a good twist, but it was this. I enjoyed this episode as well. It was fun. It was exciting, but I feel like I got that same excitement through the entire series. Seeing Jen's whole life, just get turned upside down, and she has to move back in with her parents. And I thought it was funny that her mom was just like, you can move back into your room, but I turned into the exercise room. And that reminded me of when I moved out of my parents' house. They said, Jazz, we turned your room into the exercise room. And they did. And I was just like, damn, Jen, there you go again. Relating to my life.
The relatability.
But I definitely appreciated how, like you said, Chris, they stuck to the comics. Because it's always going to be people that's just like, why don't y'all stick to the comics? Give us more comic related content. And then you got people like, when they finally give it to you, y'all complain about it. So, I mean, we said it multiple times that this show is not for everybody. We're going to have some folks that it's just like, didn't agree with what was said. They didn't think it was executed well. But I appreciate that all three of us were in agreement, because there's a lot of stuff that we differ on, but I think our mood and feelings toward this entire series was same.
Yeah.
Like we all enjoyed it. It had its slow episodes, but we appreciated it. And like you said, Jason, it was a superhero sitcom. Like sitcoms gonna have random storylines to where it may not connect until like episodes later, but you still enjoy it for the entertainment. But I feel like since it was from Marvel, people just didn't have that connection. It was just like, nah, we want to get the same vibes that we got from WandaVision, from Loki, from Falcon and them. But She-Hulk was like, nah, I'm not giving you that. I'm giving you what I want to give you. So I hope I left something on the plate. But I was
nah. I mean, it's a good point. Even when you say like people want the same, and that's another reason why I said I sort of stay away from the social media thing. And I think Jazz may have touched on it a little bit, but I don't want to misquote you. But you were saying something basically where you read, I think it was when King V died, and you was like reading the tweets, and you was like, sort of like you wasn't really you kept seeing the jokes instead of like. Remember that? Yeah.
But I didn't feel a connection with it because I kept seeing all these jokes and made me not feel sympathy, but more humor.
Yeah, exactly. So like I feel like that way with certain TV shows. So I sort of take a step back. I even got to this point where with different movies, especially us doing the podcast, but even with different movies, you'll see like the Rotten Tomato score or like, the general reception. And I'll look at the movie, I'm like, this movie's dope. You know what I'm saying? So like I sort of take the same thing here. And like you said, especially with Marvel, they're sort of under this like magnifying glass where like everything is critique, the general public, because it's so popular, the nerds, how they pick apart every little thing. And I'm just like, it's just a fun show. Like I didn't really have much complaints. Like I said, the only thing that I had, if I really had any sort of complaint, would be the two, those two slower episodes. But even then, like you said, it's a sitcom. You're gonna have those type of episodes. And the funny thing about this show and her breaking the fourth wall, she told us that. She was kind of like, she said something to the effect like, this is one of those misplaced wedding episodes. And I'm just like, yeah, so now we know what to expect. But I thought it was dope. I like too, when we talked about the TV shows, how they normally go into the movies in some way. And we talked about Hulk showing back up, and he brought someone with him back from wherever he was. And
people were so upset with how he's portrayed, and I don't know who he is, but when I saw a comparison of how he looks in the comics, I can see how the toxic fans could be like, "What is this shit?"
Yeah.
So
he's basically that's funny. He's basically Hulk's son, which I rag on Black Widow a lot.
I know, but I'm just wondering, Hulk, when did you go get a son? Because Nat dies and you just like, all right, I'm out. Like, is that what? Soon as she dies,
hey man,
Hulk is trash.
Hey, it'd be like that. I mean, you can't.
It'd be like different ways of coping. If you like that, Chris.
She was really trying to give up her whole career for him. See, ladies, focus on you.
Now look now. So this is before Bruce and Hulk combined. So Bruce was in love with Nat. Now I can't speak for Hulk.
She was reading him poems and lullabies and getting him calm. So stop. They had a connection. She was getting that green magic. That's all I'm saying.
Black Widow was like, I thought we had something. Nah, fam. Yeah, I thought that was weird. But pretty much, he's Hulk's son, obviously. But I think where they're going with it, if you want to like theorize, the World War Hulk thing, Jasmine, I mentioned that before. So it seems like they're having, because we have like, there's like 4 of them now. The Hulk people. Like you got regular Hulk, you got his son, you got the leader coming up, and you still got Abomination. So it seems like they're just building that up. I don't know where it's gonna show up later, how they're gonna do that. But I do think that, and I would really hope that She-Hulk shows up in Daredevil, the TV show, because their chemistry was like amazing. It was great. And then even the surprise him showing up in this episode, and he was at the end like eating, just regular Nat. And he was just like eating with the family and everything. I think that dynamic could be cool to see her jump into his whole story.
I loved how she dropped the comment of like Hulk smashes things, and then She-Hulk occasionally smashes Daredevil, and I was just like, it seemed like she was like owning her sexuality out of everything that's been going on. And when I saw that line the first time, I busted out laughing because I was just like, yes, sis, applaud that good deed from Daredevil. Do what you got to do on a Disney Plus series. Like, I was just I was like, okay, Jen. And the fact that she was trolling, like Marvel has been trolling. What you got to say, Jason?
Jason's hilarious.
Now I say really back in. Now really back in.
But I'll say like Marvel has been trolling their fans the entire season.
Yep.
And they've been doing it to a really perfect, like it was amazing. Like watching it as a fan, I'm like, oh, y'all trolling us right there. And then like the super hard geeks that don't get out their parents' basement, you know, they were so butthurt.
They were the villains of the show.
Right.
Like, yeah, and I thought that was and even when you say like people didn't like the show, and I'm just so confused, I get it because like the show told us. And then even when you said owning her sexuality and stuff, people don't like that, you know. And I think one of you guys made a comment in the chat where you were talking about you know, when the episode aired and people was like, oh, we didn't like this, blah blah blah, and like her breaking the fourth wall. That's her thing. She does it in the comments, right? Like people may not be familiar with it, but that's what she does. And then one of you guys made the comment like, if it was not Daredevil, what's his name, Deadpool, like people would be eating it up. So you know, to me, that's, and I'm not gonna project, you know, my feelings of the show onto other people, but my ledge is people didn't like it because it was a strong woman, like kind of just, you know what I mean? Like it touched, it talked about people, like they talked about, yeah, I know, right? Cancel Chris, whatever. But no, they talked about like the trolls, like they talked about like people, what did they do when they leaked her nude, you know, her sex tape, and they called it a whore, like people was doing all that stuff. That's stuff that like that's meta because people were doing that in real life. So like they sort of was like we know what the reception is going to be. We know how people are going to come in. And then they threw us for a swerve on the last episode where literally like if anyone predicted what was going to happen on that last episode, then just like go play your numbers or whatever. Because like you just go play your numbers right now because like nobody would have expected that. But I thought it was well done. Even Kevin, who was supposed to be Kevin Feige, but it was like the, you know, the robot. Kevin.
Oh my God. Definitely took me to Atlanta, Mr. Chocolate.
And it's crazy that it happened like the same time period. That was funny, yeah.
Because when in like Atlanta, if you haven't seen Atlanta yet, this isn't a spoiler, but Van is like, I need to speak to Mr. Chocolate. And they're like, nah, you can't ever speak to him. And then you see that with Kevin and She-Hulk in the writer's room. She's like, well, let me speak to Kevin. And the dude was like, I will kill for him. And she's like, that's weird. Like, and then her going down the hallway beating everybody's ass that was coming her way. First off, are y'all running down the hallway to stop She-Hulk from doing anything?
Be my guest. Like, I'm not,
no. I'll just be like, I'll just fall on the ground, be like, she threw me down. Like,
exactly.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah, you don't want to mess with the money. They try to say, why you ain't stop her? Just look, yeah, I'm gonna just fall, act like she beat me up.
But I thought this exchange was hilarious because when he's just like, I need you to go ahead and get to your normal form because you're expensive. Because we always, anytime we watch these shows, we think how much certain things cost. Like House of the Dragons just ended. And we know how much them dragons cost. Well, we don't know, but we know for Game of Thrones, we didn't get big dragons to the end. This show is feeding us 13 huge dragons season 1, but they have a higher budget. So it's just when you have those different features, they're going to cost more. And they were just like, yeah, we need you to go ahead and downsize so we can have your regular self. And she's like, when we do it now, and it's like, wait, let's do it off camera. And I like when I was looking at that, I was just like, yeah, because that editing is probably a bitch. So just watching it, I was just like, it was just funny. Like the dialogue, it was amazing. Yeah. Anybody who didn't like this episode, sucks for you, but the shit was dope.
Yeah, like I said, to each their own. I just didn't really see it. I thought it was cool too that they made a reference to again, I guess it's meta, but they made a reference to the X-Men because like that's been a thing. Yeah, that's been a thing ever since, you know, I don't know what happened. Like they got the Fox rights back or, you know, whatever, like Professor X, but like people kept saying like, where's X-Men? And then we talked about in this show, they made a couple of references to like different X-Men and stuff. And then we had mutants in the previous show. So I thought it was cool. She was just sitting there. She was like, where's the X-Men? And she did like the little, you know, the fourth wall break thing. So I enjoyed it a lot.
They look at our tweets.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So they're just like, okay, what can I throw out there that's going to get at least 65% of our crazy stan toxic followers to get triggered?
Yeah.
And so I thought that X-Men question was hilarious, and she looked at the camera.
Yeah.
So. Jason, do you have anything to add?
Within this, it was the he said we cutting the budget as far as with the editing because we're onto a new project, and then you hear the Black Panther music play.
That's right.
As it
I didn't
actually,
catch that.
yeah, as the Black Panther the waka it plays in the background as that as it actually happens. So that was dope to see that piece. And she said, she said, are there anything else that you want in this episode, ma'am? He was like, bring Daredevil back. He was like, because a girl got her knees, and he was like, we haven't really cashed in on that just yet, so we'll honor that wish. And so it was just like out of place how he dropped in the episode.
Yeah.
But it was just like, okay, we'll service this because of there's something that you wanted within us, and that was just super super dope. And what was it? I feel like everything goes back to Scream. It was just the how can fandom be toxic, and this show shows you how it is.
I agree.
Yeah, and I also read too the opening was like a callback to the Hulk show. There was a Hulk show with the guy.
Yeah,
the famous
Luke Ferrigno.
Yeah, leave it to Jason to know who that is.
He was in that. Come on, he was in the first the other Hulk movie.
Okay. He was the security guard or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
About to say Christian know that because he keeps referencing that Hulk, and me and Jason just look like, oh, okay. We don't know what he's talking about, but we're gonna shake our head like we do.
Just smile and nod, right? Man, that movie, man. Shout out to Phase 1.
No,
I'll appreciate it if no one else. No, I'll appreciate it. No one else does. I'll appreciate it.
Nah. But then at the end, we also see Abomination getting scooped up by Wong. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So, like, do y'all have any type of theories that you think will happen with that? I mean, we got a few projects coming out soon. So, you think we're going to see Abomination sooner rather than later? Do y'all think we're going to see him in any of our projects for 2023?
I have to look and see what's coming out 2023. It's tough because Wong be showing up he been showing up.
I mean, Abomination.
Well, yeah, I was saying that because they're together, so like it's sort of unpredictable because I don't think well, it's possible, but I don't know if Abomination will show up without Wong, and I still don't even know like what their thing is. I know in Shang-Chi they were like fighting. Like he was training them, but I mean, if I had to guess, I would just say Thunderbolts, simply because I feel like that'll be, it feels like an event movie. I think they said it was supposed to be like a Black Widow sequel ish.
Does that drop in 2 years? 2024.
It may. I know. Yeah, I think so. I know it's not. Yeah,
okay.
Because I know it's not next year.
So we ain't got that no time soon.
Yeah,
but everything seems so far away.
Yeah,
it is. I want you to protect your life for the next 2 years to see these things.
It's so hard.
Staying alive. Stay alive. Yeah, but they got some good stuff coming. But like, I mean, Abomination, the only thing I can really think of is, like I said, Thunderbolts. TV shows and stuff, I don't really. I mean, we got Black Panther, we got Ant-Man, we got Secret Invasion and Guardians. I don't see him showing up in any of those.
And Loki. But I don't see him showing up in Loki. So
yeah,
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. They always have a plan. So
of course. Did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to add to She-Hulk season 1?
Nah, I can't think of anything. I mean, I'm curious to see what they do with Hulk's son. Yeah, even though people didn't like the way he looked, but
when I saw the comparison, I said, okay, I can get why y'all mad. Because he just looked depressed. Like he didn't even want to be there. So maybe something has to happen to him. He got to get his heart broken for him to just go on a rampage. Who knows?
Maybe. It's interesting.
But this week we did get our trailer to Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Realm. Is it Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Just Ant-Man Quantumania.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Jason.
No, it's both. It's both.
You sure?
Yeah, because she's on the poster too. It's both.
That would be kind of messed up if they took her off. But
just like you had your chance.
Right. But that lets you know she might die. But
Ant-Man and Wasp. You're right. Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania. You're right.
Oh, thank you. Can you say who was right?
No.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just replay it back. go back a minute. But did y'all both watch the trailer?
We did.
I did.
Feedback, gentlemen. Let us know, because Jason has been talking about this dropping before Black Panther. Y'all was right, because I said I thought it would be smart to drop it after. I still think that. But
So, considering how well a movie does, how far after this movie would you say drop this?
after
'Cause-
what, Black Panther?
Mhm.
I would actually drop the trailer in the Black Panther theater.
No, you didn't say that.
Why? I wouldn't, like, you wouldn't see it at all prior to, unless you're gonna go see Black Panther that Thursday, and I would drop the trailer there. I mean, because
Like-
if you,
I feel like that's what I leaned toward. It needs to be dropped in the movie. He was like, no, it don't need to be that. That needs to be focused directly on that movie. Nothing else. Sell that, sell that, boom, boom.
I didn't say drop it at the movie trailer.
No. I kept saying that. You was like, I wouldn't. Everything that needs to be focused in that movie. I'm like, but it makes sense if they did it in the movie, just like they dropped Doctor Strange inside the Spider-Man movie. Like that trailer wasn't released until we seen that. I feel like until we seen that movie, right?
It was a post-credit. It was a post-credit scene.
And the actual trailer came out during Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of
my bad if I did say that.
It's cool.
Jason was like, hold up.
Yeah, no. That's what I was saying. That's what I was asking for. Like, if we was gonna get it, that's when they should give us that. Like, at that point, because at that point we've already bought our ticket for the movie. Now people need to come to the movie like, hey, in order to see this, get your in here. So let's just push it more. So
yeah,
right.
But we'll see. We'll see. I still got my money on Kang showing up at the end of this movie.
At the end of
Black Panther. Yep.
I
still got my money on that.
Hold on. You said Kang?
I said actually the bet is anyone from Ant-Man and Wasp, but I said I am betting that Kang's gonna show up at the end of the movie. That's what I'm saying. Just like Thanos did at the end of Avengers.
I don't know.
That's actually insane that he showed up at the end of Avengers and his movie didn't drop until like 7 years later. That's actually crazy.
I mean, that entire phase 1, 2, and 3 was building up to him. So
yeah, and he only showed up like 3 times, I think, before Infinity War. He just stole the show. Yeah, that's why I'm expecting big things from King, because this is the second time we've seen him. Since Loki, and then we got this, and then and then he got his movie coming out. He looked dope. I mean, he was comic accurate. I said it in the chat when Jason was there, and he has like the scars. I'm glad they didn't make him like blue. You know what I mean? Like, because he's blue.
I was wondering it made sense when he put the helmet on his face, turning that color. But like prior to, I was like, yeah, please,
yeah. I like how they do that, because even they've done that with like different costumes and stuff, in Marvel before, where it's just kind of like, this is a little bit too comic booky, but we'll pay homage to it. Like I feel like they did that with Luke Cage. They did something where he, like, his comic book suit.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, Jason don't like Luke Cage. Okay, bad example.
We're not supporting that bum on here.
Hey, man. You weren't rocking with the dab in the season 2?
And Luke Cage's his character was just a bit too corny.
Yeah,
I get, like, it was, and the crazy thing is they tried to make him like black, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a typecast type black, like the person. I don't know, like, most people, exactly. It didn't feel like a natural black person playing that actual role compared to everybody else that he's around and everything else he's dealing with. Like, he's the one piece of all of that. It's just like he just feels so out of place around these people in this neighborhood and everything. But nah.
Yeah, but I thought King was dope. I feel like this movie, because the first 2 Ant-Mans, they weren't really dark. You know what I mean? Like, they was just
not
fun.
at all.
Yeah, like, I think the only dark thing about Ant-Man was the post-credit scene too, when everybody got dusted. So I think this one's gonna be darker. Like, I was sort of compared to like how Winter Soldier, maybe, like the way the tone shift, like it was like that type. Yeah.
get it.
And I think the trailer, they always, misdirect us. So I feel like we got some of the quirky, funny Ant-Man stuff ahead, but I think Kang's definitely gonna be he gonna be doing his thing.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the trailer, I appreciated that it did not share too much. You got a lot of sceneries that where they will be, which visuals were amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, it was amazing. Like, I was truly excited. And then at the end of the trailer, I was just like, hell, I don't know what's gonna happen. And it did not share too much. Because I feel like, I don't know how it felt for you guys, but when Doctor Strange trailer dropped, it felt like it was showing too much, even though it was a misdirect, but it just seemed like it was so much in those trailers. And I was just like, zombie, Strange, and all of that, you got that from that trailer. But with this trailer, hell, I don't know what's going on. I just know Cassie should have just been minding her business and going to the library and stop trying to mess with stuff.
Yeah.
And Kang just being the voice at the end of the trailer. And look, Jonathan, man. Ooh, good Lord. But
what Jason said, really back in? We gotta get Jazz, right?
Yeah, you gotta spray Jazz. You gotta spray Jazz with a water bottle.
But when you was over here lusting over Alicent, wiping your mouth,
that was appropriate for the for the conversation. But look, Jonathan Majors should have gone on a crazy run. He got that Devotion movie dropping
so much work
next month. We got Ant-Man dropping in February,
right?
And then we got Creed dropping in March. So yeah, he's going on a pretty decent run, and there's no telling if he shows up anywhere else, within that time or after that time.
I hope he make a trip to Tampa
for
around that time. Tampa's a nice city. But
what's in Tampa?
Jason, lovely weather.
I mean, there's some nice areas to go walk out. If anybody ever, Tampa's nice. But
he's in Loki too next year. Loki comes out next year, right?
Yeah,
Loki.
Yeah, so he really working.
Working.
Yeah.
But so is there any expectations that y'all have after seeing the trailer?
Nah, I don't know what's going on, so I'm not gonna watch the real trailer when they drop.
I'm curious who's about to be up in the theories, because I know that's normally Chris's area of expertise. Because I remember you dropped one earlier in the chat, and I was like, "Let me close app." I said, "Nope."
Oh, that
through
theory?
my phone. I was like, "I don't want to see none of Chris's theories. I don't want to see nothing." Because
I feel like I seen Chris theory after he theorized it.
Oh, you saw it somewhere else?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I haven't even watched the latest Black Panther trailer. I'm just out of sight, out of mind. I don't want to see nothing.
What'd you see?
Like after you said it, we talking about it? You cool? You cool with us discussing it? So basically, Chris theory was he needs those 10 rings to power his Quantumanium, his whatever the Quantumanium world. So
that was my theory.
Wasn't that what you said? You say you're gonna come in and kick Shang-Chi butt.
Oh yeah, I feel like but I wasn't thinking like
Chris
he needs the 10 rings.
That if it was
so if that's not what you said, so I'm gonna push it a step further. So and then that quantum realm, it looked like those rings and everything was like spinning, and they were saying they feel like the theory is he's gonna go and he's going to fight either fight Shang-Chi or he needs those rings from Shang-Chi, and he's also gonna need the bangle from Miss Marvel as well to help power his Quantumania. I'm saying too much.
No, I think she's just mind blown. Or are you saying too much? Oh,
this sounds so lit. I hate theories.
No, I mean that's cool. My whole thing was because only reason I said Shang-Chi because I saw a rumor that the next one was gonna be called like some Wreckage of Time or something. So
when does this movie drop?
I don't know. It's not even.
So it hasn't even been. So there's a chance that it could drop after the Avengers movie?
Possibly.
Or
possibly, but I feel like it's gonna be before.
I was gonna say that. That's what I meant. Is it possible that it could drop before?
I don't think it's gonna be before Kang movie though.
Well, everything they pushed back the Kang movie, so I feel like
Kang 2024 or 2025?
2024.
Yo, 2024
I thought they
moved lit.
I thought they moved Secret Wars back. Am I correct?
Secret Invasion? Nah, that still come out next year.
Secret Invasion is the show. Secret Wars is the big movie, right?
Yeah, they moved something back a whole year.
I know Blade got paused.
Yeah, they moved King to 2025, May 2nd,
Oh,
2025.
okay. So then never mind. So there is a possibility it can come before that.
Yeah, so I think because he got the variants and everything, and then
Oh
even
shit, Miss Marvel. I mean, if that's a fact, he may pop up in that Miss Marvel. I mean, the Marvels movie.
what if he beats Carol, like that'd really be like, yo, I'm here.
I don't know how he fights. So that's something I'm actually curious in. I'm not that comic book guy. I don't know how he fights. So I don't know if it's a mind thing or if he actually throwing hands with
So
these
the
people.
so the thing about King, which is like the craziest thing, and it took me a minute to really understand him. He's just a dude, like he's a regular guy, but he's
Yeah.
like one of the smartest people ever, and he's mastered, technology and how to do that. Well, I'm sorry, time travel, which helps him master technology. So he can like he sort of can do all these different things where Jazz is just like mind blown right now. My bad. Okay, not too much, but pretty much he's able to, well, we know about variants and everything. He sort of mastered how to, just like he was saying in Loki, he learned about the multiverse and how to control the multiverse and everything like that. He does that. So he's able to be in this place and gain all this knowledge and everything. So he can learn how to fight if he wants, he can conquer, take over, like a civilization or whatever if he wants, because he has that knowledge of time. It's just like if we could time travel, like we probably go back some time and, take some advanced technology and take over everything. He can pretty much do that. So he's definitely dangerous. But the crazy thing is like he's just a regular person. So like he's just super smart.
I am in so much shock because like I've been like no Marvel, no theories, none of that.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking like the 10 rings, that bracelet, that would be insane. Oh,
and it
my
makes sense
gosh.
because that was the post-credit scene for the first Shang-Chi movie. Because Carol was in it and
right. Wong, Hulk was in there.
Right. So that would
I
make sense.
think somebody else was in there too, but I can't think of who it was.
It was Wong and
that shit that's gonna be so fire. People said they won't be able to get on Infinity War level.
See,
Ooh,
and I didn't like
chills.
yeah, people saying that it's just kind of like
I think it's gonna be
better than Infinity War.
Yes.
Hey, Jazz, check your seat.
She went from talking about Jonathan Majors to now this. Yeah, that's
Relax.
a crazy.
chill.
Honestly.
All right. So let's. Is there any other Marvel content that y'all want to share?
Not really.
No.
Check out Black Panther when that come out. We're gonna be dropping a review for that for sure. So
2 weeks.
3. Is it 2 weeks?
It's 2 weeks.
Yep.
I'm excited for that one. I gotta go see that alone. I don't want to see that with nobody because I don't need nobody seeing me cry.
Oh yeah, I got my solo tickets. I'll probably end up seeing it 3 times that weekend. So I gotta make sure I get mine out the way first.
It's gonna be good. Okay. So no more Marvel. You guys are ready for House of the Dragon?
Chris dragons.
Is Chris is ready. All right, so as y'all already know, it's open discussion. That's why Jason been real quiet. He's like, "Oh, I'm about to load Alicent up." He's like, "Let me save my energy." All right, so episodes 9 and 10. Who wants to start? Jason, you've been quiet. Right. Let's give it to Jason.
I've been quiet.
Jason, you've been real chill with Marvel. So
I feel like I have been. I feel like I've been talking, but man, look, man.
Defend your girl. Defend your girl.
I can't defend her. I can't defend her. She has seen that she's been following the wrong path, and now she's on a new direction. However, the direction that she's on is still the wrong one. So I don't know what's going on with Alicent and the Greens. But after doing rewatches for today before we come into doing this, I did notice a lot of stuff in 10. When you go back to watch 9, it hits a lot differently. It puts a lot of those things really into perspective, because a lot of things that they're trying to work for in episode 10, which we know that's 2 days after the incident in episode 9, a lot of things have already been put into motion. A lot of things have already set forth. So at this point, it's I guess time do traveling against time. We don't have a lot of time, and they trying to get it.
Yeah, it was because we see, like, remember from episode 8, Alicent gets King V's words mixed up, and we knew at the end of episode 8, it was just like, oh shit, this is how it starts. A miscommunication. Her thinking that he's talking about their son, he's really talking about the dream from the song of Fire and Ice.
Fire and Ice.
So Alicent's over here. As soon as she finds out that King V is dead, she goes to the number one person who should have lost their head, her daddy. Now, y'all already know this open dialogue, all of that. Otto, I need him to die expeditiously. I need him to die before Christone.
Ooh. Hey,
Otto.
Those are definitely top 2. Yes, I'm not mad.
Man, come on, bro. Like, what's up? Like, I don't. So with Otto, he really playing that. He really playing that game. He's really playing that game.
Yeah.
And it's kind of insane. He should have been made a spectacle of when he got fired initially. They should have like, yeah, now somebody like him. You see, he been working for 30 years doing this. Let's get him out of here today.
I couldn't believe it. And it was like, all right, so we need to go ahead and make your son the king immediately. Like, Viserys isn't even, his body is still in the bed.
Bruh.
Dead. Like, they ain't even wrapped him up yet.
He's still warm.
Still warm. The tear still falling down his eye when he thought he saw his old bae, loving his life.
Man.
But it was just, and Alicent's over here saying that he told me it was Aegon.
Mm-hmm.
Aegon is supposed to be the king after him. And I'm sitting here like, Alicent, he didn't say that shit when he had all the teeth in his mouth and his other eye. Like, what are you? A piece of me is like, her reaction made me think she kind of didn't believe it, or she didn't realize the repercussions from adding that small detail, even though we come to realize it didn't matter if they had Viserys' blessing or not. They had been working behind the scenes, behind her back, that they were going to put him in there anyway.
Yeah. The Green Council had already been working. They had been working day and night to get that working. Like I said, she's sitting at the table and she was like, wait. This is already something that you guys have already been discussing. Like, without me. And you got Lehman Beesbury. He's just like, hold on, I'm 60 and 70 years old. Like, what y'all got going on? This is treason. Like, and then you got old weak ass Christone.
Every time he kills somebody, he get a promotion.
That's funny.
Every time, and then it just be so unprovoked. I just be like, wait, he doesn't age. He stay getting a promotion, and he's like hella clingy.
You think he a vampire?
Look, ain't no way that dragon juice still got him the way he at right now, but he might be on that Hightower flow, if you know what I mean. Cause but we see how the queen get down.
Listen, man, shout out to Ray. But Alicent is completely like, you can't take up for her at this point anymore. And then wasn't Larys? Like,
Larys.
That whole situation was.
How did y'all feel about his foot fetish?
I mean, a guy with half a foot having a foot fetish was kind of funny, but
damn.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was thinking. I'm like, he was like, man, I ain't got one, so I might as well celebrate somebody with one.
How do y'all think he brought that topic up to the queen? Do you think he just saw her walking around barefoot and he said, I like those. I will give you information for those. And
hello, McQueen.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he got the leverage in that situation because he got all that information. Jason.
Wait, why Jason sound like he like a boy to men right now?
Hello, McQueen. I just heard down in the Red Keep something about Aegon for a toe. I'll give you a little bit, but for the whole foot, oh Lord.
Yeah, that's it. That's a
I'm
sick
gonna be
dude.
real. Like, if I was in Westeros around that time, I would be making a killing with information. I'd be like, look, come to my chamber around 9:35. Go ahead and give you this toe action and give me all the information I need. And I would have had my toes painted. Alicent, they didn't get that up. She didn't have her toes painted.
Yeah, Alicent toes look like raw chicken sitting up there.
He was having a blast too. Wow. Just run down.
Literally, Chris.
Yeah. So
I was sitting there. I was like, Alicent couldn't survive today because you getting your information just from him looking at your feet. I was just like, Alicent, they probably go crazy if you was like at least walk around. She was just sitting there. Not that I would know, but I'm just saying, like, she was just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. She yes. It's just crazy to see where she was when we began this story to where she is now. The length she will go to. I mean, just I don't know. It's kind of crazy. It's like the lengths that she'll go for what? What is she at this point? What is she gaining from any of this within any of these situations that she's learning? Because I mean, within this, it's like because she know her father has been working against her. It's like she's trying to separate herself from him. That's the only thing I feel like she's trying to do.
I don't even know because it's kind of feels like she's trying to keep that integrity that she's always had. Mm-hmm. But then she sees with other different situations and things coming her way, she has to chip away at that. Mm-hmm. And so she knows being in that Green Council small meeting, that small meeting that they were talking about, that they would end up have to kill Ray and her kids and Daemon. And she knows that Viserys wouldn't have wanted that. They just had a family dinner 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so, like, you got your dad conspiring to kill your stepdaughter / old homegirl. So she's trying to, I don't know. I feel like she's treading between the lines. Like, she's not a full-on villain. But, you know, I don't fuck with Team Green. So I say let Alicent go ahead and die. But I don't think she's pushed over that edge yet to where she's a full-on villain, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like ain't no hope for that hoe.
Yeah, she hasn't had that one moment where she just completely snapped pretty much.
Right. Like, I wouldn't put her on a Cersei level, but she has a Cersei one-on-one handbook.
Yeah, Cersei had those moments where she was evil before, but she just completely like got worse and worse over time. Joffrey and then her daughter, and then, you know, so it just got worse and worse. I don't know, man. But we saw again, what's the name? The daughter, Helena.
That weirdo.
Yeah, she be on point though, because
she knew.
Beast. Yeah, she was like the beast beneath the boy. And this episode was tense because I didn't know, like, you know, what to expect. But I think the whole setup with Aegon being crowned the king, I thought all of that was dope because it was just like he slowly accepted it, like he, you know, because he didn't want to do it. They had to drag him, you know, pretty much back here to be the king. But once he got there, you saw him like pumping the sword and everything, and he felt that power and control, which I think is dangerous because now he's just kind of like, I'm getting Joffrey-ish vibes. I don't want to put him on that level, but I could see it going towards that way because he seems like he's the sort of, well, you know, we already saw what he did with the servant.
Yeah.
Like we see what type of time he on a little bit. So I think him having that power and like just everybody on his side and everything. Yeah, that's a little.
I mean, within this scenario, I don't really think he'll be able to get his shit off like that. Because, like, at this point, we know where it's heading. So him being able to just really be able to reign as king, it's not going to happen. They're going to have he's pretty much just lead them straight into a battle. It's not a thing of him being able to sit there and just do it, like, because Joffrey was like king for like 2 or 3 seasons, right? Like he was just reigning terror on us for for longer than I needed for him to be reigning terror on us. It was just one season. Okay. Yeah, so he was actually able to, well, no, because he was a little pissant in first season. So he had at least 3 seasons of him being a jerk in that show. I don't think Aegon is going to be able to get that off unless he some kind of way catch a body in the field, because he's gonna have to. That's what it's gonna go to.
He's been trained, so I wouldn't put it past him.
Right. Do y'all think Aegon is going to because eventually, like he doesn't listen to his mother at all. Even though when they finally captured him for being drunk, he was like, I want to speak to my mother. I just feel like Alice is not going to be able to control him or guide him how he's going to need to be guided, because we come to find out he got a whole kid in the fighting rings.
Is that his or is that Aemon's?
They didn't mention Aemon, but I think Aemon's kids are the ones in the palace.
You think Helena kids his kids?
Yes, that would be a dope twist, because you see, I mean, Aemon came in when Alicent and Weirdo was in the room talking. He just came in like randomly out of nowhere.
So the reason I think it, because that lady was like, we haven't seen you around here in some time. When him and Kristen was looking for Aemon, Aegon. They were looking for Aegon, and he was out there, and he was. I appreciate his character too. Just the way he's been moving around. He was like, they come calling my name, I intend to answer. Yeah. Like, dude's a beast.
Yeah, and I like Aemon a lot too.
Aemon is a problem.
I'm ready to see him and Daemon square off, because that's going to happen. I feel like Jacaerys is probably going to get killed as well, but I do think Daemon is going to put hands on Aemon's head.
Wait, who's going to get killed?
Jacaerys. Jace.
Does that mean Joffrey is going to come into his own?
I can't speak for Joffrey at all.
I ain't even seen that little motherfucker.
They showed him on this last episode.
Oh, it was 3 of them with brown hair. Didn't her and Daemon have kids together? No.
They did. They got 2.
They said that she had it 5 times.
She got Viserys, and I think it's another Aegon.
I think so. Viserys and Aegon. That name, like, they need to chill with that name. Honestly, because this is the 3rd one, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Were they like babies?
Yeah, they were babies. Remember, when she went to go see Viserys, she was pregnant with the girl, Visenya. Right. And then they had the two little babies in their arms.
That's right. I can't keep up with all her kids.
Yeah, me neither. Boy, she sit down and she popping them out.
Yeah, we're not on there yet. But
open discussion. Open discussion. Talk about it.
Yeah, Jazz. I'm not gonna be that guy.
That scene was very graphic.
Yeah.
With Ray going through the miscarriage, and I was kind of pissed off at Rhaenerys for. Excuse me. No, Rhaenys. No, it was Rhaenerys. Rhaenys. I was pissed off. Rhaenys kept dropping this bad news. You could tell that Ray was pregnant, and she's like, hey, I'm here. I'm not here for the sea snake. By the way, your daddy dead, and they gave your throne to your brother. And you might need to hurry up and leave because they on their way. Like, she just kept hitting her with more fucked up news, and everything that she kept saying, Ray would get a pain. And then she tries to leave the room, and then Ray just falls down. I'm just like, she's about to lose this kid because it's obviously too early, but all the stress and all the stuff that she just found out, that scene was extremely graphic. I'm not exactly sure why they felt the need to show us all of that, but it applied me with about 6 months worth of birth control. Shout out to y'all, because that shit was just gross.
Yeah, I like.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, my bad. Now I was gonna say I like the way they lined it up with the dragon yelling when she was yelling.
It showed you the connection that she had with her dragon to where her pain and her dragon felt it. I thought that was cool, but I was like,
it's kind of which is weird considering how this episode ended. There's an episode of Rick and Morty. I know y'all don't watch it, but they have a like how they bond with the dragon. Like, basically how it's like a mental connection that I don't think this show is gonna do that, but it was kind of wild how they show the little bonds they have and how they're triggered or how they communicate with the person through, like, telepathically, within there. So yeah, it's nice to see in there. But of course, this episode, well, the finale had a lot of foreshadowing throughout the entire episode, because whenever they start to show a character too much, that's pretty much the ending for that person, and it opens up on that person, and it ends on that person as well. So
Yeah. R.I.P.
Jason jinxed him. Like Jason said, if one of the strong boys dies, and I'm sitting here like, why are you killing him off?
Yeah,
Jason,
I would
we
have
blame
never expected
you.
that to happen. Yeah, I blame Jason. I'm with that because I
I
wasn't
mean,
expecting that to happen that
Me
quick.
either.
Yeah, like
But
so.
I see that, and it's gonna no, I'm gonna sound like Chris during our Thor episode. It had to happen because Ray needed something to happen to push her over the edge. Because when we had the scene of Corlys, shout out to Corlys. Corlys is still alive. Corlys and
you shouting out,
talking.
you shouting Corlys out right now. We're gonna see what Corlys his alliances really lie as this goes on. You think he cool with Ray like that?
Yeah.
I mean, wait, y'all think it was all a like fake? Or he's
No,
still
not
mad
a
about
fake.
his son that's
I think
alive?
I think he mad about the son. He mad
the
about his
brother.
daughter. He mad about his brother getting killed by her her now husband.
But he knew his brother wasn't shit.
But
I
it's still
mean,
his.
that's
It's still
not
his
that.
family.
Blood is blood.
Right, that's his bloodline. There's power too. And then even with his daughter, that was I'm not gonna say that was Damon's fault, but Damon, was the father of the child.
So y'all don't think Corlys was genuine?
Um, I'm
It
not gonna
wouldn't
say
surprise
that.
me.
I'm just so with me. It's just the whole thing of it. So Rhaenys is more. She's more straightforward. She's gonna be honest. She's gonna tell you how she feel, what she think in that scenario. I feel like because you remember he wanted to just say we're not gonna play the allegiance to anybody. We're gonna go over here, and she's like, no, we have to, because within this situation we are in trouble too because of the alliances or whatever I can't remember what it was, but we also are in this situation, so we have to side with somebody. And if we're gonna side with somebody, let's go this way.
Bruh, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if we get to season 2 and Corlys was like, it backstabbed him, that's definitely on par for Game of Thrones, but I would be so pissed. I would be heartbroken.
I'm not, so I wouldn't know or say it'll be a backstab, but it'll be some stuff like, I feel like it'll be some, we need a, this ain't sitting right with me. We need to talk, or we need to do something to fix this situation. Because I mean, with him not being dead, I mean, he is still the one that runs it. But now the person that was supposed to get it is now dead. So now where does that succession go? So he can pick a new person, because the heir was Luke. Luke got killed. So now he has to figure out, Jacaerys. I mean, I would assume, but he may want to pass it to his daughter. I mean, not his daughter, but his granddaughter. Within that, because shoot, at this point, if everything is being passed to women, if a woman can be queen, my granddaughter can be Sea Snake, or she can be Queen of Driftmark. If that's the route we're going.
I ain't even think about that.
Dang. I kind of feel bad for the granddaughter, the one that was supposed to marry Luke.
Yeah.
Wasn't she wasn't she supposed to have a dragon that Aemon has? Wasn't that her dragon too?
So her dragon that she was supposed to have killed her husband?
That's crazy. So her dragon got stolen and they killed her.
Aemon gotta die. Aemon gotta die. Like, he took so much from her. She gonna roll up on him like Wanda did Thanos. You took everything from me.
Hey man, Aemon, only Daemon gonna be able to take Aemon down. Daemon and Aemon, if everybody else died, them two gonna be at the end.
Yeah.
If anything, them two gonna be at the end of this show. I can't speak for nobody else, but I know them two. They're gonna be at the end.
Yeah.
Before I get had everybody killed off. Sorry, Chris.
You said
Jason,
what?
You definitely had everybody killed off at the end of the season. We got a lot of people still alive. So.
I did, because I'm just looking at like I just don't see why we need all these people. Kill them all.
Kill them all. That's crazy.
let the kids, they grown, and now they got their own kids, and let them beef it out, let them battle it out. But I'm glad we still have a lot of the primaries. Like I said, I always felt like Daemon was if anybody was gonna last, it was gonna be Daemon. I'm not gonna say that. Let me keep that one in my pocket.
All right, you know where we going. Before we go to the end of 10, I want to talk about the end of 9 because that just blew my mind when she.
Yeah, no, I have so much more to talk about, brother.
Oh, okay, cool. So 9, that was sick because, and it sucked for the people who was gathered there, right? Because like you're there to see him become king. You just chill, you know, you may be cheering or you may be feeling whatever. And next thing you know, boom, dragon just come out there. Like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm just like, I didn't even want to be here. like the king just,
Yo,
yeah,
that'll be a dope skit. You're like, God damn it.
your
A
leg
dragon
all
that came
fell
out
out.
a dragon that came out at the king's succession. What kind of shit is this?
Yeah, I wouldn't like. I'm just chilling. Like I wouldn't. Yeah, but I thought that was dope. One thing I will say, and I know it was written that way. Shout out to Jazz, but she could have
That's
just
Jason.
burnt. Oh, Jason, yeah, but she could have just burnt them.
She could have.
She could. I know storytelling wise, she couldn't do it, but just like outside of just the story, I don't see any reason why she just didn't burn them.
I mean, I guess hypothetically, Ray could have burnt Hightower on that bridge. Which
Yeah, that was insane.
technically would have crippled Alicent because she, even though her father is doing stuff behind her back, she depends on him a lot. So I would have definitely got the hand of the king out of here.
Yeah, all she did was take his pen off and throw it.
I was like, Ray.
Like, there's more. I can get
She
him.
and she kind of and Rainey, she definitely addressed that soon as she spoke with Damon and Rhaenyra at the actual table.
Right.
Would y'all have, if y'all were Rhaenyra, would y'all guys have taken the deal that Otto came to y'all with?
No.
Oh, I gotta remember everything. That was like.
So you got. So just technically, I get where you going with that, Chris. But I mean, within the deal, so basically, she would have been able to keep everything that was already in place. She just wouldn't be able to fight for the Iron Throne anymore. She would just have to just be queen. She would have She would be Lord of Dragonstone. Is that how they do that, Jazz?
Yeah.
She would have just been Lord of Dragonstone, and she would have been the leader of that land. But her kids would have got Driftmark. All the successions that the kids were supposed to receive, they would have received. But that Prince King succession would no longer be void. It would just go to Aegon, and he would be able to pass it down to wherever he wanted to go at that point.
So I may have to watch it again because I thought Aegon would have had it, and then it would have passed down to one of her sons after that. That's what I.
It would go to his kids if he didn't have any.
Okay,
unless he just had girls.
No,
they were not passing the crown to Ray kids and Ray and her. They wanted her to be her line to be done. Like you're out of that situation. So, but they kept going back to the parallels between Rhaenyra and Daenerys, basically with the whole conversation of why would I want to rule over Ash and what is Ash and Stone? Ash and Bone. Why would I want to rule over Ash and Stone? Bone. Yeah, whatever it is. So I don't know. I truly don't know what I would have picked in that scenario, because I understand that, and her whole thing is I want to keep the realm together because of how can I really rule it? And I don't know where she would have, because we haven't really seen where somebody challenged for succession successfully, right? Everybody that begins, they get killed. Like Stannis, he got killed. Daenerys, she burnt that bitch up, and then she got killed. There hasn't been a successful challenge to the actual throne. So
no, yeah, I mean the closest would probably be Jon and Ramsay, but outside of that, no. And that wasn't, that was just the King of the North. Yeah, I don't.
But you gonna let somebody take your birthright from you? Like,
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, within that situation, it's a crazy thing. But I mean, the only alternative is the bloodshed. Like you said, and they like Otto said to them, like because there's bloodshed, these people gotta die. Like there's nothing else. There's forever. As long as these people live, that succession isn't safe.
Yeah.
So he tried to send a Lord Commander out there to go handle everything, and I'm just like, bro, what? Man, Lord Commander should have killed Sir Kristen, and he should have been killed Otto in that room.
Did he make it out? Because I don't think I saw him in episode 10.
He wasn't in 10, but he made it out. They made sure to show you the people that got killed for either not bending the knee
Right,
or the
exactly.
people that you know what they only show they grabbed the two people. The bald head guy, he tried to make it out and they yoked him up as he was at the gate and they hung him for display. So yeah, they were going kind of rampant over here.
Yeah. Do y'all have any like favorite lines from these 2 episodes that y'all thought were like amazing writing?
It was something I dropped in the chat, but I forgot what it was.
No
Corlys
hope,
said it.
The hope.
Hope is the worst ally or something like that.
Yeah, hope is the worst. So
the
the
fool's
hope is,
ally.
Hope is a fool's ally.
Yeah, that's a bar.
Daemon when he choked Rhaenyra, when he said dreams didn't make us who we are, dragons did. That was a bar, but of course, you know, I feel like scene of the show was when Sir Eric what?
Oh, I thought she was about to take my line. Go ahead.
When Sir Eric pledged allegiance to Dragonstone and to Rhaenyra in her crown, and he brought her dad's crown. That definitely put tears in your boy's eye. Nothing came out.
The disclaimer.
That definitely put tears. I was like, man, come on, man. That was a heavy moment for him to do that as they're trying to cremate their child after she just, you know, had a miscarriage. That was a sweet moment. And then Daemon bent the knee. We got you, Jay.
Now I was gonna say, like, do y'all ever watch the inside clips after the episodes? And they also mentioned that during that scene, you saw Ray burning her child that was died of like a stillborn miscarriage, and her father went through the same thing in the first episode of the series, and she was there because he was because he lost his child as well. So they were just like showing those parallels. Like I didn't even think about that during the episode. And I was just like, damn, like that's wild. Because you see a lot of things that they reference back from the earlier episodes into this one. Like that bum ass love letter, or actually it was a textbook page.
It was.
Yeah, she kept it.
They ripped out of a very expensive book, allegedly.
Yeah.
she could have sent Ray the whole book. Fuck that bitch. Like, no.
I mean, so in that, it was just going and just basically an ode to the love they had for one another. So it was just showing like, bro, I still care about you. Yeah. It's just this game we got put into is pulled us apart.
And she's the one who even put those pieces together. Like she's the one who started this entire thing.
But I think it too, that was a part of why it was so tough for Ray to decide, you know, what she was gonna do up until the end of the episode, because it was like she still had love for her people, you know, at the end of the day. But I think another parallel was when she was miscarrying the baby, wasn't she like yelling for Daemon?
Yes.
And he didn't want to go because this is what happened to his other wife. Remember?
Yeah. His second. Is it the second one? Yeah, it was the second one.
The black one, yeah. The second. Oh, okay.
I gotta think with him. His history, right? His history ain't too good right now.
Yeah, but she was yelling or whatever, and he was just like still talking to the people. He was like, "Nah, I ain't going." So
yeah,
that was crazy.
Jess, I know you that's still in your thunder. I know you said you didn't like the way they're portraying Daemon right now.
Yes, because Chris, I didn't think about that parallels when I was watching it. When I was seeing Daemon, like he didn't really comfort her too much after the miscarriage, and with her screaming his name as like they're supposed to be getting planning for war, but she's screaming his name like the baby is coming early, so you already know the chance of the baby survival is very low. And he's just trying to carry on as if everything is cool. But Daemon did do something at the end of episode 10 where it showed a bit of emotion, because when he went to go tell Ray about Luke, he held her hand while he was telling her that news. And they stand together at that one moment, because any other time you don't see him really comfort her too much, and he didn't really comfort Lena that much either. And we already know he didn't comfort his first wife because he threw that bitch off the horse. So
beat her with a rock.
Right. So when I saw that scene on my rewatch, I was just like, wow. Because I feel like a lot of the scenes they cut, like they're extra scenes, Like when he was comforting his daughters when Lena passed away, like they took that out of the show. And I don't understand why you would do that unless you want the audience to see a certain energy from a character, but you have scenes that you recorded of him showing empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really see too much empathy from Daemon unless it's more aggressive. Because like when he finally saw King V on his deathbed, and even when they were looking at their child, he just looked at Ray and just was like, "You good?"
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But hopefully he has some type of character development to where he can show a little bit more emotion in season 2. But he got all the hoes right now anyway, so probably not.
I think that's interesting you say that because I feel like he's showing emotion, but in his own way. You know what I mean? Because like even when King V was trying to get to the throne, he didn't want nobody else's help. And then remember the crown fell and Damon picked it up and he was sort of like, I got you. You know what I mean? Like I still, I love you like that. And even when he was when he was sick, he was sort of looking at him like, dang, this is my brother. I don't know. He just has his own way of doing it, I think.
It's interesting y'all both mentioned those scenes back to back because both of them, Matt Smith, who plays Damon, made both of them happen.
When you say make them happen to where you mean they were improv?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, he improv both of those scenes, and they just rolled with what he wanted to do for that last scene. Because, like I said, the episode I felt as if it should have ended when Luke got ate. That should have been the end of the actual episode. Matt wanting to be the one to comfort Rhaenyra or give Rhaenyra the news and comfort her. No words, which we know most of the most impactful scenes for him, he's not talking. He doesn't really talk. It's just you just see him, and it's just the tone of the actual scene, how he's looking within that actual scene, and he's selling it so far. That's probably still my favorite of this season is Daemon. So just seeing him, see which way they go with his development would be dope to see. Hopefully they don't. I don't want them to dumb him down, because I'm trying they'll make a person softer in another season. But I feel like going into war, they should make him even tougher, within that. But I definitely would like to see him be more. I know, Jack, you said more. What was it? Soft?
Empathetic. No.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
didn't
okay, so
use the
yeah.
term soft.
I know. I was just asking.
Just like show some empathy and emotion because you've lost 2 wives, one from childbirth, and then you have your niece/wife, and she has a miscarriage that was your child. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I get him showing his own emotions his own way, but you got a wife that obviously, like, Ray got a bunch of stuff on her plate. And you were right in that room when she got all that news, which caused her miscarriage. It's like, but then I think he realized, and as like I said, mentioned the end of the episode when he came to comfort her, I feel like Ray and Luke's relationship was really close. They had a really close bond, which I love how they had that closing scene to where you see her body movements, you see her reaction to that news in front of the fire. Like, all hell is coming.
Yeah.
Because of dragon in the fire and just her turning around, looking at the camera, and the music is just going.
Yeah. Like,
I was so pissed off that they left us there, but I respect it because they fucked me up when they killed John and they had me wait a year. So
yeah, I still
Ray, like, I was just like, damn, it's done. I was just waiting for one more scene. And
what would that scene have been for you, Jess?
Jason, I don't even know. Like, realistically, I was just like, give me more. But then I was just like, where they left it at, if it's like maybe 3 months in time that goes past when we start season 2, please don't let it be years. We don't need years. Just a couple of months to where it's fresh. I'm excited where this season 2 will start. I think it was a good spot for it to end. You don't need to show me anything more. I was just pissed off at the moment because I was like, y'all just killed my dude Luke off. He not really even my dude, but he was yesterday or Sunday. But I was just like, and we gonna get to his death, which was, whoo.
That whole thing.
It was it a jump
so...
scare for y'all? Did it feel like a jump scare? Because I was not expecting it.
Somewhat. I knew. Whenever so we watch enough movies to know when this stuff is gonna happen. So you have the so the way they I'm trying to get to it. Like I'm losing everything. Right. So the emotional impact, like I said, they wrote this episode very well. So you have the whole emotion. So whenever he went to the dragon and he was trying to calm the dragon down, I'm like, this situation is gonna backfire somewhere, but where is it gonna backfire within this scenario? So then he takes off. I'm like, my guy finna die. Just how is he gonna die is the only question, within this situation. Then you see that overcast over his head. I'm like, they finna get him. They finna get him out of here. What you say, Chris?
That's Rhaegar, right? The dragon, the biggest dragon?
Vagar with a V.
Vagar, okay. When he first pulled up to where, another thing, before I get to the dragon, it was one scene where I think it was Ray, someone, when they were listening to their allies, they said Baratheon, Stark, and Tully. I was just like,
yeah.
I was like, wow. I thought that was dope. But now when he first pulled up to where the Baratheon dude was, and like you could see the dragon like in the background, in the shadow and the rain and stuff, I would have just been like, nah, it's time to go. Like,
would y'all have got back on your dragon and just left? And just be like, Mom, my dragon didn't know where to go, so we got lost.
his mama really put that batter in his back though. Like, hey, you're not going to fight, you're not a warrior, you're just going as a messenger. Don't worry about nothing else. If I would have seen that, I'm like, hold on. Let's go. Was it Arax, let's ride. We ain't finna play with this. They beat us. Let's go to the next message. Because he had 2 messages, right? Or
I think the other brother had 2 messages.
Okay, I'm like, man, let me go deliver the other one. This is cool. Go back home.
He went to the one closest to the house. That, like, damn.
That was crazy. But when I seen that dragon, and then even the whole scene when he first pulled up and the soldiers right there, I thought they was gonna take him or something. Like I wasn't expecting him to say, I'm whatever, and they turn and just go right in. I thought something was gonna happen there. And then you walk in and you see Aemon in there, and I'm just like, bruh. I was like, this is not. But I thought it was cool because he, he got his eye chopped off, but he had that blue, whatever,
sapphire,
stone over the sapphire. I thought that was hard. That was hard.
Aemon so disrespectful. He out in somebody else's house talking about some. Let me get your eye. I need your eye.
He just threw the knife over there, like, yeah, you do it. Like,
he been mad for 10 years about this eye, and that crystal eye looks really pretty.
Yeah,
it's not like he not getting the holes.
Listen,
you see that he is. So
you cut my eye out, I need something. Like, nah.
He can't see out of it though, Jazz. It's just in there. He can't see it.
I'm curious if he only could see out of one eye. I know it was his dragon, but how was you over here doing all this in the rain? And it was thunder and lightning.
That's what I'm saying.
And you only can see one side. I'm just like,
probably take your ass home. To it. Nah, that was crazy. But then even when it was one scene where they was flying in the air and like he was, just like Luke. He was just, it's Luke, right?
Yeah, it's Luke.
Yeah, Luke. He was just riding and he was like looking for him, and then you just see the dragon under the clouds. And I was just like, bro, that whole scene was shot well. That was just like,
when I first saw this scene, I was just like, oh yeah, y'all did an amazing job, because you think a dragon fight in thunder and lightning in the sky, like rain, like that shit is amazing. Like, we didn't get nothing like that. We didn't get any type of elements at all with Game of Thrones with the dragons. So like, just for us to see that, and like Jason, like you, I was just like, he gonna die. Like, it's raining. Like the elements is not on his side. I'm like, and then when he went out to his dragon, he saw that Vagar was gone. So by this time,
I would have at that point. I would have said like, "Hey,
all right, let me chill out. Can I go?
Can I stay
here?" Because he saw that he was gone. But then I was just like, so wait, Aemon ran out to his dragon and hurried up. He was just in a rush.
It take forever for him to take off.
Right, because he got to climb on that big ass dragon. But it also lets you know, like, you saw the aggression that was happening in the Baratheon house. The Baratheons had to have known something was about to go to pop off. So
Yeah, they over here super Robert vibes. He was like, so you just want me to I'm not your what is it, your mom's dog to that she whistles. I just supposed to listen. You need to bring me something. Bro, if you don't get up out of here.
He called him boy. I was just like, why didn't he go with another soldier? Some backup. Your son all of 14 years old.
And that was Robert Baratheon's grandfather, right? Is that who that's supposed to be? Or great grandfather?
Maybe great grandfather.
Maybe, I don't know.
He definitely gives off Robert vibes.
Yeah.
He do. I mean, I feel like that'd be far. I feel like that'd be kind of far in because it's like we were 100. Well, we was 172 when it started. We done jumped about 40 years into it, so it's a possibility. But they don't live long in this era.
Yeah, everybody getting killed, backstabbed. Yeah, everybody dying quick. Yeah.
Man, because the other guy, the guy he took succession from, is already dead. I hate we didn't get, like you said, I know Jazz mentioned that we didn't get to see the Starks this season. Well, we seen one. So, but we'll see. We'll see Winterfell next season. So yeah, that's gonna be dope to see.
Something. I think. Well, y'all saw back in early when the show first started, and they kept bringing up that clip from Joffrey when he was talking to what's her name? Chick who looked like Lola Bunny.
Marjorie.
Yeah, when he was talking to Marjorie, remember they were saying that's how Ray's gonna die because the dragon. Remember you seen that?
Yeah.
And they was pretty much saying, so I'm curious to see how that like plays out eventually too.
Mm-hmm.
So we just see how the dragon is just, I don't know.
Trying to see that they have all these dragons that don't have riders. How they gonna put riders on these dragons at some point? Like, because it has to be a Targaryen, right? I mean, of Targaryen blood or Valerian.
It can be Valerian too, I think. Yeah.
Valerian, yeah. So, but the two girls already have dragons.
Mm-hmm.
One of them does not have a dragon.
That's true because her dragon got stolen by Aemon, bum-ass. But we see that Daemon was singing to a very large dragon.
Yeah, that dragon was.
Yeah, that was huge.
That's got to be one of the biggest ones too. Like probably the.
It may be the biggest, if not the second biggest, because I think Vhagar is probably still the largest one.
Yeah,
so far.
And but I thought go ahead, Chris.
Oh no, I was gonna say I thought it was cool that because we know Aemon stole the dragon and he couldn't control it at the end. I thought that was like a nice callback. What's up, Jason?
Somebody tweeted, how you not gonna be able to control a dragon that you stole? I was just like,
because it ain't yours. Yeah, that's kind of wild, dude.
Always a bit on Twitter.
I was gonna say that's what the dad King Viserys is telling Rhaenyra on the first episode, when she was in front of the largest dragon's head. He was saying, people think we can control dragons. We don't control the dragons. It's a relationship between us and them. So it's more of a respect thing when I say, hey, Dracarys or Takeoff, Fly, whenever they speaking in Valerian. But it's not we can't control them. They do what they want at the end of the day. But it also made me think back to Jurassic World. In there, because they were saying you can't control a dinosaur. It's a respect thing between you, and if they wanna, they're gonna go to their natural habitat within that. Which I don't know if Luke told his dragon to spit fire at Vhagar, but at that point he was like, "Nah, fuck that. This is mine now. Fuck you." I thought he was gonna throw the boy off his back too. I thought both of them were gonna get killed out there. Drop him out the air and then kill him. But yeah, nah, he was like, nah, fuck that. I got this. Nah, you just strap on. Like, no, chill out.
I think Arex was so pissed off because like Vhagar was fucking with him. Like you threatened me in the skies and it was thunder and lightning. Arex might not have been a thunder lightning kind of dragon. So he was, he already seemed flustered before they got in the air. So he was just defending himself. Arax is innocent. R.I.P. to Arax. I know we were just like R.I.P. to Luke, but Arax was a victim as well.
Yeah, he got bitten too. Nah, I think I didn't even remember that. You talking about the king said, we can't control the dragon. That happened with Daenerys too. Remember, she couldn't control the dragons at one point. So like that's
he just dropped her off in the middle of nowhere and she just dipped out on her.
Yeah. So that's a dope callback.
Like, bro, what's going on?
Nah, that's a
Yeah,
dope
no,
moment.
that's wild. That's
He really
wild.
dropped her off, and the Dothraki army just came and scooped her up.
Like you on your own, you'll be all right.
How pissed
Like,
off would you be if your dragon just dropped you off in the middle of nowhere and left? Do you
Yeah.
just stay there till they come back?
I mean, what do? You can't really do nothing.
man, I don't know. Another a dope callback was when after they did announce Rhaenerys queen, and she went to the table. She brought her daughters to the table with her because there hadn't been women at the tables before. So she
Oh,
had,
okay.
she brought Bayla and what's Bayla and Lena?
You talking about Damon's other
Damon's daughters, yeah, he brought them to the
Yeah,
table.
the
So
black ones, yeah.
yeah, so that
Yeah.
was
Nah,
dope
that's
to
cool.
see. So yeah, it's gonna be some stuff next season. I can't wait for it. I was excited. Definitely left us. Jazz, in this episode, was that a cliffhanger?
So I will say this: when I first watched it, I was mad because, like I said earlier, I was just like, main cliffhanger, just leaving us like that. But then, as I watched it a second time, it's on brand for Game of Thrones, all of that. So I wasn't too mad because it set us up for a very exciting season 2 that I can't wait to for it to drop in 2 years. So that's how long we gotta wait. But not I wouldn't call it like a cliffhanger like that. So
The fact Jason thinks it's a cliffhanger is still confusing.
I
are
feel like
you
I feel like it was a cliffhanger because the story isn't complete.
Well,
A complete. So
it's
for me, it's not a cliffhanger if there can't be another. There can't be like you can have an ambiguous ending. Like I said, you can leave it where it can be like, okay, we know something's going to happen. But if you leave me at the end of a end the way where something must start or a conflict is now beginning, that's a cliffhanger.
so the reason I say it's not a cliffhanger, right, is because the overall story isn't finished. So that's like we knew that wasn't going to be finished in season 1. So that's already a given because we had too much to cover. But even with this, the story of the season was completed because the whole point was Alicent and Rhaenyra's relationship, the rise to power, what's going to happen with King Viserys, and after that goes on. All of that was done. And like even with this, it wasn't really ambiguous to me. It was just Rhaenyra made her decision after her son died, where okay, we going to war. That's what the whole turnaround thing, the rage in her eyes. It wasn't just spelt out telling like she didn't tell the camera like okay we're going to war, but you knew that's what was happening because she felt like they had her son killed. And I mean, that's pretty much what you think would happen unless you aim and you up there, but no one's going to believe him because he shouldn't have been messing with Luke in the first place. But I mean, that's the reason I say it wasn't a cliffhanger because the story of the season was completed. The overall story, it wasn't completed, but that's just, we just know it's more to it. And I was never expecting the whole story of what they're trying to tell to be finished in 1 season.
I mean, so I hear what you're saying. So the Dance of the Dragons could have actually began due to Aegon taking over succession and them undercutting her. But the climax happens when the son is killed. That is the ultimate hell no. So that's where the climax happens for me. Because if the like I said, with that at that ending, it's like you left me at a high. Because it could have left you at a situation where guys, we're going to war. And that could have just been the end of it. And I'd be like, okay, cool. I understand. But like it left us at a situation of, nah, bro, this can't be the end of this because we just seen this kid get killed.
Well, the kid getting killed is what starts the Dance of Dragons. So that's the whole point. That's what causes Ray to be like, all right, this is it. Like we doing this. Because she was on the fence at first. Like she was debating. She was still like, okay, maybe we're gonna do this, maybe not. And then that whole situation is what starts her to be like, once Damon comes in and like, hey, our kid is dead, or her kid, she's just gonna be like, nah, this is it. We going to war. So that's what starts the Dance of the Dragon.
Yeah, Chris, I definitely agree with that because, like I mentioned earlier, when Rhaenyra was telling Corlys she's keeping the realm together.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody around her is in like chaos, panic, trying to go to war.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there calm with everything that was happening around her.
Yeah.
And realistically, I think Ray may have agreed to the terms if Luke didn't get killed.
Yeah, I think so too.
So with Luke dying, she's just like, nah.
Yeah.
Like you've taken too much from me that
Right.
I'm not going to be able to get back. And so I definitely think that was the trigger. And
And
it
even-
wasn't. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask. Even with the the queen who never was, right? When she came,
When she busted in,
right? She told Ray that they were trying to kill her, right? So
well, she said they're coming for you.
Right.
But normally with anything like that, you're an heir that's a threat. So they're gonna eventually try to get you out of here.
Yeah. So we don't like Ray wasn't in the sky with the dragon. She doesn't know that it was a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like Aemon wasn't sent by Alicent to kill Luke. But to Ray, she's like, nah, y'all killed my son because y'all coming for me like the queen that never was it. So she like, all right, bet we can do this now. That's why I see it.
Do y'all think even if Ray would know the full details of what happened in the sky on Sunday, that she would be like, oh, it was an accident?
Nah, because my son is still.
And plus, you see how that entire thing escalated.
Right.
You did not have to follow him in the sky. You were, even though it may seem like, oh, it was a joke because he was so shocked and he lost control of his dragon. Nah, like it was. Even if he would have tried to explain it, it's just like it doesn't matter. Like,
nah, because how do you explain it? Because one, you stole the dragon, so you shouldn't have had that dragon in the first place. Two, like I'm over here. Two, y'all got the whole prophecy mixed up. Like you gun ho to give it to Aegon when that's not even what was said in the first place. And then Alicent deep down know that ain't, she know, but she just won't accept it. And then why is Aemon there? Like, when she sent Luke, like, why are you there? You there for trouble. Like his whole reason to be there was to undercut the message, and then he like, give me your eye. So it's just like,
So it was something that I did catch in episode 9 is when they were at the small council. They even mentioned what they can give to the Baratheons, and they mentioned a marriage. So that was mentioned at the small council. I caught that in my rewatch, and I was just like, oh, okay. And then I saw it when I rewatched episode 10, that callback. So the small council already had all of this planned out.
Yeah, so, they had it. They said they were saying who have pledged allegiance. They said who's pledged allegiance to Rhaenyra, and they said, well, right now the only 2 people we need to look at is Storm's End, and it was another one. I feel like it was
Winterfell or House Aaron.
Okay, yeah, within that. So that's when they were trying to send somebody to Storm's End, and that's what they, what are the days? So they had been working for quite some time, so they was already 2 days ahead in that scenario.
It's crazy that Ray didn't think this would happen, but a lot of them seem pretty like not like I guess thinking that folks are not gonna backstab them. Loyalty is above everything, and it's just like
naive maybe.
Nah, yeah, that's a good term. Like completely naive. Like Ray was just in so much shock.
She should have known,
right?
Just based on how Otto was already moving,
and she knew how he was moving when she was younger. So like I don't understand how she just completely forgot.
Yeah.
But I think like her main focus was Alicent, and she didn't think Otto had too much power. But he's a hand of the king.
Yeah.
So.
And he's super manipulative. So yeah.
Right. I do have a question for y'all. Do y'all think, and this is just a like an assumption, with what happened to Luke and it happening after they left House Baratheon, do y'all think the House Baratheon will still join with Team Green after seeing everything that happened with Luke and Aemon? Because Aemon was trying to attack Luke, and then the king and House Baratheon was just like, nah, not here. He's a messenger. Like he was just trying to keep the peace. He wasn't with any type of altercation. So do y'all think maybe Luke's death will trigger him to join allies with Ray?
No, that dragon ate somebody. So no.
So counting the dragon, yeah, the biggest
Okay.
dragon, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have the biggest on your side versus the smallest, which we see what happened to them, nah, I'm not siding with them unless it was like I said, if Damon would have came and showed out, that would have been a different scenario. And because I knew or heard, because Otto told them we've already sent people, or he said we
Right.
sent ravens to these places.
Mm-hmm.
I would have at that point, Damon should have been the one. Damon and somebody else with a trained dragon should have been the one, which brings up, I was like, what are they gonna do with the son that disappeared? But his dragon is up there. Nobody has it. They can ride on his right now. Nobody has claimed his dragon.
Oh, Ray's
Ex
husband.
husband, and his dragon is actually war trained. So that's gonna be that's gonna be a nice, that'll be a nice situation to bring back up whenever that happens, and they'll see, but I wonder how that works. Like if
Maybe
somebody
he'll come back.
fakes their death and then comes back and they were in place, like how would that go?
I mean, I feel like if he come back, they at war, so they like, all right, we'll figure out the details later. Just come help us fight. Like they may not be too concerned about that.
Because him and Damon was in the war. They were burning stuff up in
Yeah.
the one with the crab people.
Yeah,
I definitely think he's gonna come back in season 2.
yeah,
They got to bring him back. You can't just let people leave and never come back.
Didn't they do that in Thrones? Somebody
They
like,
did,
oh no,
but
Ginger
later
came back.
in the season. Later,
Oh,
Gendry did come back. Yeah,
yeah, after like 4 seasons or something like that.
got a haircut.
Yeah, I don't know, but I enjoyed the finale. I enjoyed the whole season. Honestly, I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, it was definitely good. And one line I didn't get to mention this earlier, but one of my favorite lines was from Rhaenerys or Rhaenys. Am I saying her name wrong?
The queen that never was.
Yes.
Oh,
One
okay.
of my favorite lines that she dropped was in front of Alicent's face, and she said, "You desire to be free, but she said you do not desire to be free. You make a window in your ward, in your prison." So I was just like,
yeah, that was a bar.
Damn. And Alicent couldn't even say anything.
Yeah.
She was sitting there like, I want my window. Like, you're still in prison to your father, to your husband, to your son. And that's all like Alicent will probably be. I think she'll probably redeem herself, but on the way her dying. Like
Maybe.
she's gonna die like 2 seconds later.
Yeah. I mean, we know they can redeem people because they tried to redeem Theon, so they can do stuff, but Alicent
they tried to redeem Jamie.
I thought Jamie was well done. I thought they did good.
You thought he was redeemed? Oh, okay, cool.
It's after he threw Bran out the window. There's no redeeming that guy. It worked out in the end eventually.
Did it?
Yeah, Bran became the Raven. He became king. He stopped the White Walkers.
So you don't think Bran would have been the Raven if he wasn't able to walk?
Nah, he wouldn't have been Raven. I think that was his destiny. I think that was his destiny for that to happen. But if he would have been walking around, he wouldn't have been Raven.
I'll never forget the 3-Eyed Raven was told him. He was just like, "You'll never walk again, but you'll fly."
Like, nigga, like, excuse me.
That's all you got?
Yeah. You ain't got nothing in the back, like nothing. No posters or nothing. Like, don't tell me that. What you doing?
You ain't got no crutches?
Yeah.
No electric wheelchair?
Bro.
Oh, Hodor. R.I.P.
What else to say? So if you had to pick, what y'all rolling? What y'all rolling with? Season 1 the Thrones, season 1 the Dragons.
I knew one of y'all would ask this question.
We know what you're going with, Jazz. What you got, Chris?
All right.
It may be recency bias, but I'm gonna say Dragons. Dragons was fire.
I'm not gonna pick because I need to rewatch season 1 of Dragons. Thrones to be able to answer that question truly.
I'll say this, and our only reason because it's hard to say because Thrones story is finished and this one isn't, so we don't know how this is going to finish. But we got a war with the episode with Daemon. That whole thing was fire.
The crab people.
The crab people, yeah. We got like mad, deaths and like all that stuff that Game of Thrones does. The story was good in my opinion. It built up, but I think at the end it really did a good job. It had epic moments too. I don't know if season 1 of Thrones had these type of epic moments, and I think it's hard because Thrones had a different budget than dragons so you could do a bit more, but that's not my fault. So I still got to go with dragons. Like we got mad dragons, we got a sad death, a good story arc with King V, like all of that. I'm gonna go with
As
dragons.
not Dead's death? What was the most? What was the another impactful moment of season one? Also, not Bran being thrown out the window.
I'm gonna say Khal Drogo's death because we didn't think Khal Drogo was gonna die in season one, and then you see Khaleesi come out of the fire, which I was curious when a lot of people were upset at the end of episode 9 of House of the Dragons. They were just like, Renee, the Queen that never was should have burned all of them. I'm curious for Targaryens that aren't affected by fire. Is it full blood Targaryens, or can they be half blood Targaryens? Because
Just thought about
Alicent
that.
would have burned, but Aemond and Aegon and Weirdo would have still survived. So I'm curious how that works, but I couldn't remember Daenerys' mother prior to this episode. But that's just something that popped into my head when I was doing my rewatch. Because maybe if they couldn't burn outside of Alicent, her burning them wouldn't have done anything, and then the war would have started. So I didn't see any theories online. I just saw people pissed off, like, why didn't she just burn them? And they were just like, well, then the story would have been over. And it also wasn't brought to the attention in episode 10 when Daemon asked her, like, why didn't you just burn them? And she was just like, this ain't my war to start. So I'm curious if it's just full blood Targaryens, or if you can have Targaryen blood in you. But I guess if that's the case, because we didn't see Jon with fire in Game of Thrones because he was half and half. So I guess we couldn't.
Aegon the sixth. Hey, I wonder.
The six, goodness, the six of them.
Yeah, he was the sixth. But I just learned you don't get the number until you become king.
So it's possibly more than six of them. They just wasn't king.
You have
like
to,
12 Aegons running around.
You have to be crowned. Otherwise, you just, whatever name you go by in the town, you just that. I wonder, one thing I do wonder when they're gonna make that dragon shooter, because I'm pretty sure it'll come up in here. Or was that made in Game of Thrones time? It was old, right?
It was made in Thrones time.
Oh, I thought it was old.
But I don't know if it was an idea from that current maester.
Gotcha.
Cersei seemed like she had never seen anything like that before when he brought it to her. So, I mean, a good callback next season would be dope. But then Aegon does have some bastards running around. Oh, no, we brought that up and you said it might have been Aemon.
We'll see.
They got to bring that back.
They're gonna come be and that's what, and like I said, this show, there's no small details that's not going to be brought back up. But but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this season. I'm not mad at it. Besides them killing a kid, which we knew he had to die. I knew one of them kids gonna get killed by a kid. They kept playing that up too. They kept playing that up too much.
Yeah, that was tragic though, because Aemon didn't really want to kill him. He was just messing with him, but he couldn't control the dragon. So.
Yeah, it's some, like, that's one of them situations, like present day, like, you don't play with guns. You know what they do. You playing with a dragon, which you don't even control the dragon.
Yeah, like, that's like
if he did know that, he know it now.
Yeah, that's like a bomb you riding around on. You can't control that thing.
Yeah. But did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to add?
Oh man.
2-year wait. Ain't it 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
It's tough, but I think we got a lot of content between now and then, so we got something to keep our attention and for us to review. So that's a positive. All right. Well, this is our volume 5. I got it right this time, Jason.
You did.
Of our double feature for She-Hulk and House of the Dragon, aka Them Dragons, aka House of Dragon. I remember all those tweets that said Black people call it House of Dragon. And then I remember at the beginning of our volumes, we was calling it that. So,
that's the they say the one true king. That's the one true name, House of Dragon. It's always gonna be the is unnecessary.
Right.
Like, House of Dragon.
Just take it completely out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Black Twitter. But thank you to everybody that's checked out our episodes. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, leave comments as well. hopefully y'all enjoyed our, bonus double feature. Gentlemen, is there anything that y'all want to add?
Nah, thanks everybody for listening and tuning in. It's been a ride. We finished now, but it sucks that this is over with, but I mean, hey, that's how y'all felt. That's how the day one Game of Thrones people felt. They had to wait all that time for the new seasons while we got to binge watch everything.
Exactly.
I'm assuming they're having to track out how they're going to plot this moving forward.
Jason, they already got their whole script and the storyline. They need those 2 years to make them damn dragons.
No, I'm saying like, no, I mean, within because he came out, he said how many more seasons he feel they actually need to have. So I feel like they have to. It's 4 seasons, so I feel like they're trying to plot out how they're going to do the actual seasons now, like to make it make sense.
How many seasons did I say that they needed?
All right, guys, it's been a good 5 bonus episode round.
I said no more than 5. Jason wanted me to be wrong because Jason always want me to be wrong.
He was ready to send us off instead of saying
because it don't matter. I'm not in the writer's room.
Just say it matters to me.
And you see, man, out of here.
That's funny.
Take us home, Jason.
You already did that. It's been real. It's been fun. It hasn't been real fun because Jazz gonna get her story done. Something in there. Thank you. I was coming off top of the dome with that, but it's been real. Thank y'all. House of Dragon and She-Hulk Volume 5.
Oh, we did do She-Hulk. Wow. Okay. I forgot about that. Yeah, shout out to She-Hulk. Yeah. All right, Volume 5. We out.
Cheers.